Hello everyone, it's Peter here, Peter Fissner. How you doing, guys? So, in today's episode we get part 2 of the Logic3. I had a wee chat with this fella. we found some differences. First and foremost, I've noticed that here is missing component. You can see burning and you can see darkness. So in that place it's written, you know what, let me pause and take magnification equipment. So it's written where the fuse should be, you know, and this fuse is a wrong fuse. It's okay, but it's not as original as it should be. F3AL 250 volt, 250V. Now, yes, it is a 3 amp fuse. Correct, 250 volts, spot on. Only the installation of this fuse is not the greatest. Yes, so that's it. Next, we've got 4 fuses, 4 diodes here. I'll show you as a close-up. Oh, it's not vivid. Well, it is what it is. I need to start use the DSLR again, so that the vividness of those recordings will be better. But you see those diodes. Now, if I'll take my meter, we know that diode, I took here 3 amps ones, new ones. I don't have 1.5 new ones. Need to order more. But anyway, for those who don't know, diode has an anode and a cathode where this bar is. So from anode to cathode, we should get, can get a little view of the meter as well. Yes, we can. So from anode side to this belt here, we should have, as we see, 480, it's great, yes, awesome. The other way around, we shouldn't have anything. That's a reaction of the silicon diode. Natural reaction. This is a 3 amp one. And this one, if I'll do on this side is anode, here is a cathode. Look, works like a charm, yes? Great. The opposite way, great, awesome, yes? The same, this one is soldered, so let's check this soldered. Yes, 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 I should go one after another, for instance. But the other two, yes, so this is great as well. Whereas this one, it doesn't matter which side I'll do, because it will beep anyway. So if it's beeping, guess what's happening? It's short. Now I've made a mistake on the yesterday's video, the part 1, because today is International Women's Day, because it's 8th of March, on the day of the recording. So I've made a mistake. I haven't found a power button. Please have a wee look. Here is a power button on this device. So good that I haven't switched it on. Good that I've seen that additional second connector here. So the one connector is for the power to come in, and second is to switch on that power switch on off. Yes. Now, if I would switch it on, that fuse would blow. Okay. So that's definite. Why? Because those fuses are shorted here on the input, and when fuse is taking back current where it should be, where it shouldn't be, then it's a short and then it can blow the fuse. Well, hopefully only the fuse and nothing else. So, as I've got only 3 amps ones, I don't have 1.5 amps, because I've checked, this is the 1.5. I'll read you the names of them, hold on a wee. Okay, I've got it. It's IN India November 5399, the small one, 1.5 here, amps. Let me share the screen. and so that you can see it yourself. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's the one, yes. And the second one which I've got is India November 5401G for golf, yes. And that's as well low forward voltage drop, low reverse leakage, yes, high forward surge, current compatibility, high temperature, even soldering guaranteed. So this is a good diode, and we see here that it's a maximum repetitive peak reverse voltage 100, RMS voltage 70, and 100 is as well for the maximum DC blocking voltage, yes. So when we compare this, it's 50, 30, and 50, yes. So the parameters are not worse, we can use them, yes, we can use them safely, no problem. And you've got the same description here what we had over there. So guys, I would say it's a green light for putting it in. Of course it's overused, but if I don't have in stock new diodes, I can only do what I have, or you know, or order and wait. Now it will be bad soldering because it won't go through the holes. So I'm thinking, should I maybe look for some used diodes in some other power supplies, but the time I will spend on it searching for and then checking compatibility, it will be longer. So I would say that yes, it's a malpractice a bit of using wrong, especially bigger size, and overkill for it, but for the test purpose we need to do something. So I will solder those back, cut those legs, solder to them here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we don't have them, you see, but I did leave those legs here, and I will use these legs to solder to them. Okay, so where are we? I soldered those two diodes. They are, as you can see, much larger, but that's okay. What else I want to say? The polarity, when you do it, if you want to learn, you check the polarity. It's always the direction, like a triangle, and behind the triangle at the top has line, so it should match the same line on the same side. What else I can tell you here? Yeah, so another dodgy thing I found here, look, is this cutted line, and instead of that is a wire. I don't like those. That's for me malpractice. Now we're talking here 230 volts, and I need to fix it. It's not my standard, okay? It's okay on the low voltage side, I don't mind, you know, it's fine. But when we are talking 230 volts, we should minimize the risk to the maximum, yes? So I'll correct that one as well, but I can do it with you so that you will see it. What I'm looking for is some soldering wick. It's really thick, see? So the wick is so thick that it's as thick as this thread here. So I can use something to scrape it. That's okay. Yes. Scrape it off. Scrape on the other side. Now, it doesn't have to be extremely great because it will hold anyway. I like flux. I like always a bit too much flux. I don't mind cleaning it after. That's least of my problem. But if I need to struggle, why? What would be the point? Okay, let's add some solder here. Great, awesome, nailed it. And the same on this. Awesome. Now that's the shorter side, so let us grab from the shorter side, let's melt it in. Hold the wick, melt that babe in. Okay. Now let's melt on the other side. Okay, across it. So it's not only grabbing in one space and that's you. It really has to be everywhere. Okay, and that's us. We can wiggle it if we want. We can cut it if we want, but that's it, job done. And now we can remove this wire because we don't need that extra. I don't know why I switched off the iron, but anyways, you see, and now no wire, no extra danger for this. Now keep in mind, you shouldn't touch things which can kill you like this, so it's only me showing for those who are touching them anyway, or are not afraid to touch on their own responsibility. But I haven't finished school, I haven't graduated even in my life, and yet I was doing those things since the 90s and I'm still okay. Was electricity electrocuting me? Of course, not once, not twice. But does it mean I'm dead? No. Depends how you approach it. If you approach it like that, you're gonna get killed. If you would touch like that, yes. Even if you would touch like something like that, it will be pain as. But if you're healthy, yes, you don't have a problem with a heart or something, it shouldn't, in theory, it shouldn't kill you. In practicality, well, life only can show, so don't touch things which you're not trained on or you're not sure what you're doing, because you get only one life, I've been told. Yes, so up to you. But we've got it up and fixed, up and running. I wanted to say I don't know that, so you know, there is only one way to find out. I would say I'll prepare everything here and I'll post the video. Okay, so I've placed it, I screwed it in, I've put insulation tape for the fuse as it was here. I've connected all the connectors, everything is fine. So the question is, will the fuse blow when I will press the power button? I'm wishing and hoping that it won't, and that was the only fault, 2 diodes. Okay, let's on, power it on. No, it doesn't hold to break. Okay, need it to stand here. Okay, that's fine. So I'm pressing the power button. On. But still nothing. Okay, this metal thingy wanna jump out. Let's press standby. Still nothing, guys. So there is more fault to it. Okay. Oh, you hear it? And died. So there is sound because there was something, but there is a problem still. Like the amplifier wouldn't work. Hopefully the processor is not dead because it's switched on properly. Okay, the cable is off. Always make sure to take cable out. Let me check those fuse and the diodes. Fuse is okay. Where are your diodes? Yeah, diodes are okay. Second one, nothing, and on this side. Yeah, diodes survive. As we see, the power supply works. I don't know if it has full potential, like have all the power there is would need it, but it is working. So now the problem is only on the amplifier side or on the control side. It's not any more problem with the power supply. But again, I don't know what voltages should be, and I think for the for the second episode that we fixed the power supply issue is enough. I will spend my time off camera. I will figure out, what else can be wrong here. I will try to look for the schematics for Logic3. You can as well if you would like, and see if you can find for Logic3 for this schematics, and if so, you can post the link down in the comments below. Thank you for that. And you can test your skills if you can find it. Yes, schematics or datasheet or service manual, that's how we can call it as well. So now, before switching off the video, I will check if power goes on this board and what are the voltages we have outgoing from the power supply, which we fixed just now. So let us switch off. Good. Let us plug it in. Okay, and now before powering it on, we need to make sure that nothing is conductive here, and we won't touch with our hands places that can kill us. Okay, because we've got 230 volts here. Okay, so, or 240 odd. So, I've got everything. I can put to the DC 200 because I don't know how many volts there is. And I can now check what the power is taking up to this board, because there is some power, and I would like to check. There are 2 red and 2 black on this side, and there is more of white ones and the red one as well. So I would say the standby is working, because when we powered it on it was working, but what is the power and what power we should be having, I don't know, to be true. I would say that there is some description on it. That's 15 volts, guys. 15 volts. Okay, so I need to check if I've got here 15 volts on this connector, because this connector with those wire comes from this power supply. If I have 15 volts, then that means at least we've got the power. Yes. Then I can worry about that second connector, which is here up to here. Connected. Okay, it looks connected to me. Yeah, everything is connected. So okay, because it didn't blow off, I still prefer to do it like that. And go off. Nothing. And on the capacitor, nothing on the capacitor. Again, here on the connector from the power supply, need to be really careful, because I can touch places where I shouldn't. Yeah, power supply seems not to be giving me a much of a choice. Pressing down the right hand side, it was a standby. I think. Yeah, that's the last button on the right. So we don't have 15 volts anymore. Well, here is nothing, here is nothing. Now we've got 1.3 volts here. One volt on those. 0.4, even 0.4, but at least there is something. 1.3, 1.3, 1.4. Okay, so it's looking like the power supply can't be switched on. That's how I get it. Yes. Again, I don't see here a bridge rectifier after that, but I don't believe it will be 15 volts AC. Yeah, it's not. It should be DC. Oh, where was there? I've seen some 15. No, it can't. Should be 15 volts here, DC. 24 volts. For whatever reason it's showing 24 volts. I'm not joking, literally. Yeah. You see, there are diodes, so behind those diodes we should see current. But there is something which I don't understand, and now it's guessing, so I need to, if possible, find the schematics. If I can't find the schematics or datasheet or the service manual, and if I can't find it, I need to follow the route, yes, and see what's going on here in the circuitry. But first foremost, I need to switch it off. And the last time I will switch it on just to see if I will have this noise. Quiet. This time is completely quiet. Okay, will I have that noise when I will disconnect physically from the mains? Off. And back on. We have it. Okay, so in that case I need to check during the power on if I've got those 15 volts what's written over there during the initial startup, because the capacitors are charging, and maybe, just maybe, it's not the fault anymore with a power supply, but it's follow the line. So then I will have to, let us text again. Yes, exactly. So in that case, let us switch to the DC and check those capacitors. I don't know how many volts, so let's do 200. Okay, 200. And I'll power it on. Capacitors are not charging enough. No, nothing. Nothing. Guys, so for me there is still an issue with this power supply. What is the issue? I don't know, but for me, yes, no power is coming in enough from this power supply, and that's why further investigation is needed. Now I will make a test straight from the power supply. 7, 9, 10 volts, 10 volts, and dropping down to 0. So it doesn't allow to reach the needed voltage. Okay, now the question is if I will disconnect it. Let us, just in case, I just Oh, that's off. Okay, cool. If it's off, it's not a problem. Okay. Awesome. So let us check if that will change anything. I've disconnected the module from the mainboard. There are other connectors with the connection from power supply to the main board, or there are two actually boards. So one is the power supply, maybe. Ah, that's audio amplifier, and that's the steering. Okay, that's fine, no problem. So let us get into this and into this. Great. And now let us check it. 24 volts. Look. So now we know the problem is not on the side of power supply, most likely. It's only on the problem on the main board here, and something is shorting out. Off and again. Yes, 24 volt. Now if it will hold, that's the question. No, dropping. Okay, so the question is, why is dropping? Because it should hold, unless we need to press some standby or something. Yes, 24.5.4, and it's dropping. 19, 15, 11, 10. If I'm pressing doesn't change anything. Okay, but we know that whatever was blown, these fuses are okay. And the question now is, does this power supply have some off from this? Does this power supply have still issue? Because it's dropping. So either some standby here doesn't on, or there is some other problem. Let me check if I've got a short on either end. So either here black and red, shouldn't be, because we would have a problem. Yeah, only capacitors are charging, that's okay. Brilliant. No short here. And growing, capacitors are growing, so it's no short as well. Diode in the circuit can show rubbish, so, but it's not shorted, so that's okay. There is some fuse, and I'm assuming that the fuse will be fine. Two fuses I see now. Yeah, it should be fine. And you know why? Just because we wouldn't hear this that the amplifier count power on. So now the next challenge which I would do for this would be to take my power supply, bench power supply, and supply here those volts. If I'll supply those 15 volts, 2 times 15, what's written on the board, and if this will power on, that means there is a problem with the power supply. If I will give it and that will start to turn off, like short, or do some weird things, then of course that's mean it's not a problem with this. So I've got only one question to myself, because it's 2 times 15 volts and I've got 30 volts. I've got second power supply, or I could connect them both. That's it. Yes, so I'll think through it. It's 29 minutes, so let's call it a day, because it's really half an hour. I'll think through what to do, and I'll record another episode. Fingers crossed we can figure it out. And how do you bet? It's a power supply issue, because the voltage is dropping on it down to the 0, Or is it some issue on the main board and the main board need a repair, or the amplifier board, because there is an amplifier board and the main board which operates everything. So where is the issue? Can you tell? I've got my ideas, but we will see. We will see. So anyways, that's it in the episode number 2. See you in the next one. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.